Ta-da! There goes the crazy guy with the silly phone holding sticky thingy for his phone that talks to his phone about Elvis and Priscilla with a silly hat today with a silly hat on. Joanne said to me, or was it Emily? I think it was Joanne. I keep moaning about my hair blowing around like I'm going bald, like I'm wearing a wig. So someone said, why don't you just put a hat on? Now, I don't like hats. Hi, Angie. I don't like hats. I hate hats. But today is very windy. So either I look stupid, like I've got a wig on for half an hour, or I can put a hat on and just hope the hat doesn't get blown off by the wind, but at least my hair won't get blown around everywhere. So I think we're on Elvis Presley Fan on Keto. I don't have the time to message anyone. There's like 50 people to message. I just literally don't have the time to do it. I'm like, right, quickly, you've got half an hour to walk the dogs. Quickly go and do the walk before something happens where I can't do it. Whether I've got to give someone a lift or pick someone up or someone's visiting or there's a kid, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, right, I now know I've got half an hour to walk the dogs where we can have a live stream, no interruptions. This is it. So this is what we're gonna do. Now, right now, where we're walking now, the weather is like perfect. As soon as I get around the corner, it's gonna be a strong wind. So let's get through. I'm hoping at some point the wind's going to break, because I think we have got nice weather tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going out somewhere, but only for a few hours. Tobogganing. Have you heard of tobogganing? That's what we're doing tomorrow. Come on. Right, let's get, there's a few people about. Hi Jimmy, how we going? Hi Lorna, hi Angie. There's a few people about. Let's try and get past them. I want to go this way, it's sunny. I follow the sunny route. So obviously today's been a big day with Wink Martindale. It's been announced obviously yesterday that he passed. I actually think, so part of my thinking today has been the Wink Martindale. A big part of the reason he's loved is obviously because, yeah, it is cold. It's freezing, Martha. A big part of today, but I think a big part of the reason that Wink is getting so much outpouring of love. Ha, Jimmy. That's funny. It's nice and hot in Florida. But don't you get fed up with the hot weather, Jimmy? Too much heat all the time. This is why my father moved to England in the 60s, because he got fed up with the hot weather. Do you ever get fed up with the hot weather, Jimmy? Anyway, so a big part of the hot weather, the outpouring of love, hot weather? I'm getting confused now. A big part of the outpouring of love for Wink Martindale. Well, number one, he's a very, very famous game host, isn't he? A host in America, yeah? In England, we didn't watch any of his programs. He's obviously an American thing, isn't he? I think we knew, obviously, about Wink Martindale and his connection with Elvis. No Way isn't really that bad. So, you know, he's known for all of these different programs he did. Is it Tic Tac and something? And it's all in, you know, when you look at the news clips talking about Wink Martindale, they meant 90% of it talks about the games, the hosts that he did, you know, the game host stuff. Then the other 10% is just about, obviously, the fact that he became good friends with Elvis, obviously interviewed Elvis his connection with Dewey Phillips, you know, a big DJ as well, a massive career. Wink had a massive career, didn't he? I think he worked more or less till the day he died. Let's let these people cross over the road a minute. But I think the standout thing for me with Wink, when it concerns Elvis Presley and his wife and Wink's wife, Sandy, was they always stayed true. And we know that Wink's wife dated Elvis. But the standout thing to me is that it doesn't matter when you... Let me just get past all these people. Lots of people to get past. 1 second, guys. Right, come on. Come on. It doesn't matter what decade you watch an interview with Wink Martindale. He is a massive defender of Elvis. He would stand out as a defender. Like, he really did go out of his way to stick up for Elvis. And it infuriated him, the trash books, all the crap that came out about Elvis. I really wonder how he felt about Priscilla. I have no idea. I've not looked into if there was any friendship between Priscilla and Wink Martindale. So if you know, guys, put it in the comments. I would say secretly behind the scenes, Wink probably is quite upset with Priscilla, but I don't know. Martha, he loved Elvis, truly. And even when they had that interview, was it 56? You can see from the body language between Elvis and Wink. Firstly, Elvis, hi Karen. Firstly, Elvis just is very nervous, yeah? And now we've just found out, and if it's true, that Elvis didn't realise that interview was going out live. That it was on air. You know what I mean anyway, you know that it was being recorded for millions to watch, that's what I mean, yeah? Something we read earlier. So, you can see a nervous Elvis, a bit, you know, you can just tell that this is all very fresh and new for Elvis, and probably can't even believe that he's being interviewed by Wink Martindale. And Wink Martindale just looks very confident, but you can see on his expressions on his face that he is in awe of Elvis, in awe. I can imagine what Wink's thinking. He's probably thinking, my God, Elvis is the best looking man that ever lived. He probably consents that Elvis is nervous. I actually think that Elvis, even when he became very, very famous in that first year, still, I don't think Elvis had completely grasped just how famous he was. I think he was in a bubble, and there was a tornado around him, a whirlwind going on around Elvis. Most of it he probably was unaware of, because he's at the centre of a storm, isn't he, Elvis? And Wink Martindale catches a glimpse of that. Yeah, he was shy, wasn't he, Dan? How are you going, Dan? Right, let me get past these people. So you think about it, guys. You know, I've still got more to read up. I'm still learning myself. But you think about it. You've got this man from nowhere. You know, That's All Right Mama. Let me just get past it. So you've got the That's All Right Mama song. Dewey Phillips is doing his thing. And there's the story where they're trying to get hold of Elvis, and Elvis has gone to the theatre, cinema, whatever it is. Just that whole story. What people sometimes forget is that it happened so quickly, didn't it? Like, 1 minute Elvis was unheard of. Ivor Senso. We're just honouring Wink Martindale. Obviously passed yesterday, didn't he? So, it literally was almost overnight, I would say. An overnight stardom. Elvis went from one level of local fame, yeah, because he had some local fame, didn't he, Elvis? And it just shoots to this mind-blowing, worldwide phenomenon. Probably every single person on the planet, in every country, saying the words Elvis Presley. Just, it's almost unheard of, isn't it? You know, such an overnight type stardom. And Wink Martindale catches a glimpse of it, and they hit it off. They become good friends, great friends, a lot of admiration, a lot of respect between the two. Elvis is the reason I think that Wink met his wife Sandy. I know Elvis was dating her a bit, but you know, dating back then was different, wasn't it, guys? You know, you go for a walk and hold hands and a little kiss on the, you know, it was different. It was different back in the 50s. A date was not a quick walk. Elvis Shiner showed how humble he was to be most famous, and he was humbled. Yeah. Hi, Kate. We're just chatting a little bit about Wink Martindale. We're also discussing Elvis's very, very quick rise to fame. Whether or not Elvis even sort of realised just how famous he was when he first got famous, yeah? So this young man literally faced with a million things to do, isn't it? Could you imagine just where the whole world wants a piece of you? The whole world wants a piece of you, and you're in the middle of it. He doesn't really know which way to turn. I think he does have an early manager, doesn't he? Before, I forget his name, before the Colonel. Yeah, I'm still learning, so you guys tell me. I don't know what I would do. If I suddenly had the whole world at my feet, everyone begging me for my time, for interviews, to be in their movies, to make songs, to be in their TV, the TV interviews, like magazines, tabloids, to be photographed, selling out every place, every venue that Elvis booked into, you know, and not for a few months, forever. Obviously, it all gets interrupted by Elvis joining, Elvis being drafted. So I missed that comment, sorry guys. The point I'm trying to make is that what does anyone do? What does anyone do when they're thrown into a hurricane? Sometimes I think we forget that how young Elvis was, you know? What do you do? 19, 20, 21, what do you do? When your world, don't forget, Elvis was one person. It's not like the Beatles, there was 4 of them. They shared the burden. Elvis was one person. He completely, really relied on, firstly, his mum and dad. Then, you got Sam Phillips, of course. I just think, I don't know how I would have dealt with it. I don't know how I would have coped with it. I just, you know, and then maybe that gives you some kind of understanding of Elvis's emotional, you know, Elvis emotionally as a human being. Because within all that, he's trying to be a normal person. He's trying to have, you know, have his girlfriends, his friends. Just normal stuff. Sing his songs, play his guitar. You're trying to be normal inside this massive storm. I just can't even imagine it. It's just like, in some ways I really pity him feel sorry for him, want to, reach out to him and help that person, that 19-year-old lad. In other ways, 19, 20, in other ways, I'm fascinated and amazed, and it's fantastic that happened to this one man that was about to change the world, literally change the world. To this day, Elvis is still making a change to the world. I'm seeing Elvis things all the time now, yeah? It's everywhere. You'll be surprised. I'm watching a children's cartoon, the song comes up. I'm watching a movie, a new movie, made in 2025. There's an Elvis song in it. Elvis is still impacting the world in 2025. So I try and say this to my wife, to my kids. I don't think they quite grasp what I mean. Elvis literally changed the fabric of the world. One person, the ripple effect that he had with not just his voice, his image, his looks, the way he walked, the way he acted, the way he talked, his personality, his charm, his religious beliefs, his gospel music, the way he did his hair, the way he dressed, the way he moved, isn't it? I think all of it is still happening today. It affects even the new bands that are up and coming. There's not actually that many amazing bands coming through now. Singers, the likes of people like, I don't know, Freddie Mercury or Dave Bowie or Mick Jagger or the Beatles. Where are these? Where are these phenomenal singers, bands? Where are they? It's like there is none at the moment. Now, we've witnessed many bands and singers that changed the world, changed our lives, yeah? Didn't we, in the 70s and 80s, even 90s? I think we did, people like George Michael, who had a big impact. And, but where are the real standout ones that you see them on TV and they're like, wow, you have changed the world? There isn't any. And I'm not even saying that because I'm an Elvis fan. There just isn't. There isn't, honestly, guys. If I said to you right now, name me a singer or a band right now, today, 2025, that is mesmerizing. Who is it? Who is it? I can't think of any. The ones that there were have died. Innit, Karen? Seriously, right now, who is it? I love many bands and singers, but they're either dead or very old now. Yeah? Elton John is a typical example. I just think we need that. I think the world needs it. Karen, the world needs it, doesn't it? The world needs a new Elvis. The world needs another Beatles to bring back excitement. Yeah, Britney was great, but her time has passed. She didn't change the world. Britney Spears is great. She didn't change the world. How many people changed the shape of the world? Nobody. There's a few, mind, don't get me wrong. There's certain people that did, but right now, in 2025, nah. I really think the young generation now are missing out on what we all went through the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s. Let me just let the dogs off the leads a minute. I think the wind's dropped a little bit. Let's have a look. Right, let's have a look. Oh, yes. Sorry, guys. I think the wind has dropped a little bit. Not so bad as what it was an hour ago. You know, I know that, you know, I'm 58 in July. Many of us here are 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, we're a lot older than the youngsters of today, aren't we? I just think we were very lucky. We went through these decades. For me, it was very much the 70s and the 80s was, I just think we went through some years that, you know, I'm talking about the singers that were popular when we were growing up in the 70s and 80s. I feel that the youth of today don't have what we had. I always remember that how you dressed, the dog follow me. I always remember that how you dressed showed what you were into, what you liked. So, you know, you got your, obviously, your rock and roll people, your punks, your mods, skinheads, ska. There was, you know, like your Duran romantic, what they call that, Duran, Spandau Ballet. When you were into music through the 70s and 80s, and maybe even a bit of the 90s, people could tell how you did your hair, how you dressed, how you acted. Yeah? You don't get that now. You don't get that now. It's different. I don't think you can tell what music someone is into now. Yeah, people like fashion and how they dress and jewelry and tattoos and how they do their hair, you know, but in a different way. Does it relate back to music? Does it relate back to the way a certain person sang or dressed or did his hair? I don't think so. I think it's different. And I look at my kids, you know, I've got an 18-year-old daughter, a 16-year-old son. And I just think, well, you're missing out. You didn't have what we had. They just didn't have it, guys. And I'm disappointed. I feel sorry that they can't have what we all had. Yeah, Jimmy, you're right. When I went clubbing in the late 80s, we had to wear a suit and tie. You wouldn't get in. When I was growing up in England, I went clubbing around 1987, I think it was, 86. Actually, it could have been 85. We had to wear a suit to get in. We had to wear a tie to get in. The girls had to dress up to get in. It's changed, hasn't it, guys? Things are different. Right, I'm going to jump over to to Elvis Presley fan. No, whoa. Guys, I'm going to jump over to Elvis Presley long lost footage. Elvis Presley long lost footage straight away. So I'll see you there. Elvis Presley long lost footage. See you there, guys.